Hey, what's up guys? It's Cliff with TRD Pro. It's a brisk morning here in Frederick, Maryland, about 38 degrees. We're, I don't know, 500 yards away from our office, and we thought it would be a good idea to do a walk around update of our shop 4Runner. If any of you remember a good, I don't know, 3 years ago, we did a pseudo sort of mods list with this exact vehicle of what the mods were at that time. So it's been 3 years, so we thought it would be a good idea to provide you with an update. Just as a heads up, this is not a finished build. It is very much in progress. We have a few things that are actually here we're waiting to put on, but we just wanted to give you an update about where it is today. We expect maybe in about, I don't know, 2-3 months, it'll be at a good final stage and we'll do an update then. But let's show you where we are now so that you can know exactly what's on this rig. If you like it, you can pick it up at the shop. Okay, so let's get started with the walk around. It's a pretty big mods list, so I thought it would be good to do this in categories. So we'll start with bumpers and sliders, so armor. And to start, this front bumper is actually from Backwoods Adventure Mods. I've had it for about 4 or 5 months and absolutely love it. This model does not have a bull bar, so there's no pre-runner bull bar or a full bull bar. I just liked it without it. Obviously super high clearance, as you can see here, to avoid all sorts of obstacles when you're off-road. Nice matte black finish there. And the best thing about this is that it's an aluminum front bumper. All in, it's about 88 pounds, which for a front bumper is super light, much lighter than a lot of the steel versions that are out there. So that's what I wanted, is something light, something durable, and something high clearance. Now, to complement this, right underneath is the aluminum skid plate. So you can see here, the matching skid plate from Backwoods Adventure Mods gives it this nice blended feel into the undercarriage of the vehicle. The previous skid plate was the Toyota light gray skid plate, which obviously kind of clashed here. So I thought it was a complete necessity to get the skid plate there as well. It's also aluminum, so it's super light to protect everything right underneath there if you find yourself on some adventures with rocks and all sorts of other goodies. So there's a lot of lighting going on up here, but we're going to do a lighting category. So for now, let's proceed to the side of the vehicle because we're going to talk about these sliders. 20-degree slider with a kick out, okay? These are from Westcott Designs. I love them. We have a great relationship in working with Westcott Designs. At one point on this vehicle was Westcott's TRD Pro collar lift, which I loved. And I can't say anything but great things about the Westcott Designs sliders. Beautiful, easy install. They're light as well, so a great upgrade and gives it kind of that rugged look that obviously we're looking for with this build. So definitely recommend those. This rear bumper is also from Backwoods Adventure Mods, which I absolutely love. I scoured vendors, manufacturers tirelessly for 3 years until I found this. And this was exactly what I had been looking for, and I didn't even know it. And we got it installed and we absolutely love it. It's also a aluminum rear bumper, so it keeps the weight down. There are some steel elements, but mostly aluminum. So it's super lightweight and also has a high clearance, which is exactly what you want from a more rugged 4Runner build. So just some features here. It's got a swing out here from both sides and a locking mechanism here, which is really cool. So it just stays there. And then the tires swing out here. And you know what I loved about it is the safety features here. So if you open it, it locks into position on both sides. Because obviously if you're doing this, you're trying to get into the back of your vehicle and you don't want those doors swinging shut on you. And there's just an easy mechanism to close it. Right here, back here, there's just a little lever that you pull up. So I just pull up on that and then it can just slide right back into position. Same thing on this side. Pull up the lever and slides in. There's a little clasp here, which all I'll do is just lock it into position. Boom, there you go. All locked up, super secure. The other thing that's on here that's a different accessory is this jerry can holder. Don't have any jerry cans in there at the time, as you can see, but you can hold fuel or water or whatever you want in here in a jerry can. And it's all secured with a clasp here as well, so it's super secure and sturdy. All right, now that we've covered bumpers and sliders, let's talk about lighting. And spoiler alert, we are Morimoto fans. So for starters, we've got the rear taillights, Gen 1 Morimoto taillights, which I absolutely love. I feel like they have a super rugged look versus the Gen 2s. I haven't put in the Gen 2s yet, so I don't have any firsthand experience with them. I'm sure they're great, but I'm gonna stick with these for a little while. I love the sequential turn signals. They're super bright for safety, which is what we're all about. Continuing on with lighting in the front of the vehicle, there's definitely a lot of lighting going on up here. Again, all Morimoto, love it. High quality, super bright, super safe, which is awesome, not to mention super cool. Right here, we've got the Gen 2 Morimoto Toyota 4Runner headlights, super famous for their awesome white DRL. And also that turns into a sequential turn signal, which is super awesome. Morimoto 4-bangers, which fit nicely right in here in this grille, which again, super bright. And right over here is a less known Morimoto product. These are what they call the big banger. So I've got one on each side right here. And one of the reasons they're super cool is that they have 2 light options. So you can have a daytime running amber light, which is super bright, but it's not like a spotlight. And the other option is a white, very bright, very spot-like light. So if you're out in the woods or anything like that, or anywhere where you need super bright light, you can switch it from white to the amber. I run mainly in amber just because I like to be seen. I don't need to spot out if I'm just driving around, but definitely in the woods, if you want super bright light, man, these things put out super bright light. All right, so next we've got the 4-banger ditch lights, and these are super popular. They come with the ditch light bracket for easy installation, so they fit nicely right here. These are super bright. I don't really know any other ditch light that I would prefer over these because I've used them and they do what they're supposed to do. I can see if I'm on a narrow path, off the beaten path, I can see the ditch very clearly right down there, so I know what to avoid. Keeps it super bright. These are also controlled by an 8-switch controller that I have in the vehicle, so I can turn them on and off at any time. Again, this is the white color and they're super bright. Okay, so last up is the big banger light bar, which is right there. 5 big bangers, so we've got 2 in the front, so we've got 5 up there. Super bright, or you can just run them all in amber, so you can definitely be seen. Obviously, running those on the highway, not highway safe, but you know, in the woods or camping or whatever the case may be, definitely can come in handy to light up whatever's going on in front of you. So definitely a great way to stay safe out there on the trails. Okay, so time to talk about suspension and the resulting stance from that suspension. So on this 4Runner, we have the Icon Stage 7 with the billet upper control arms. It's a 3.5-inch lift, and as you can see, it's a super aggressive look. Gives it tons more clearance for larger tires. It's also adjustable, so your ride is adjustable, so you can go stiffer or have more give with the ride. I tend to like to go a little bit stiffer with the ride. Just makes it easier for my driving preferences. And this is the exact stance that I was looking for out of a lift for the longest time. And I've had this lift on here for about a year. Totally love it. All right, so while we're here, let's talk about wheels and tires. So we've got the Mickey Thompson 35-inch tires here. They're the Baja Legends, and those are paired with the Stealth Custom Series F5 wheels at a -38 offset. All right, so last up on the exterior to talk about is this 4Runner roof rack. It's the Slimline 2. It's a definitely great base for the rooftop tent, which is coming soon, so that'll be in the next video. So we had heard great things about the 4Runner roof rack from my good friend Chris Ritchie. Thanks, Chris. And we're super excited for the next phase of this video, where we'll show you how the rooftop tent is mounted on top of it. Okay, so we're in the vehicle now. There's been tons of footage of the inside of this vehicle, but we'll just go through it real quick. Of course, we'll start with the Alpine 9-inch plug and play bundle that's in this vehicle. Accompanying that is the Alpine rear camera, which is mounted in the bird's eye display. And then the front camera, which is of course mounted in the front. So those are all there, as well as the dash camera, which I have mounted right up here. That's the Alpine dash camera. Of course, the picture is off for safety, but we have that installed there. Now this is the ICS dash mount, which we installed, I don't know, about a couple years ago. It has the extra USB charging capability right here, which is great. Now, what you see here, it's a Cobra CB that we were testing for a little while. I'm still in the testing phase with a CB. We didn't particularly love that one, so that's in progress. I've got one of the ICS dash mounts here. Now, this is like one of my favorite things in the world. It's just so easy to put your phone up there. It's super sturdy. We're a big fan of ICS. All right, so next down here real quick, we have the Alpine volume and bass knob, which is just super easy. If you got your hand down here on the shifter, I can put it right down here and raise and lower the volume of the system, or if I want to turn the bass down, I can do that as well from the knob. And lastly, over here, I don't know if you can see it, we have the pedal commander down here, which I've been using consistently for 3.5 years now and absolutely love it. I run in mostly city mode, and I find that to be the throttle response that I'm looking for. So one thing I don't want to forget is over here on the left-hand side of the steering column, we've got the 8-switch controller, which I'm using 4 of the switches at this point. So I've got the grill lights, I've got my flood lights. So those are the 2 different lights that I was talking about with the big bangers, either white or amber. And then I have rear lights, they're white lights on the rear bumper, which just give more light if I'm backing up in a really dark area. And then I've got my ditch lights right here, which again, everything can be activated at the push of a button, as you can see there. Next up on here will be the big banger light, which we're gonna wire up and get done very soon. All right, so a couple more things to show you in the back, so let's get it open. So to start back here, we have really the first video footage of the new TrailGrid Pro in partnership with Alpaca Systems, 8-inch drawer system, which comes with a King starboard gear plate. Now, King starboard is essentially rot-proof. It'll last forever. Definitely something that you want so that if you're out camping, got some inclement weather, it's gonna stand up to the test of time. And these drawers also have a King starboard drawer face, as well as a top plate. So super high quality, and look at the size of these drawers. Now this is the 8-inch version. They are huge. Look how far that opens. You can store anything in here, utensils, anything possibly you need for camping whatsoever. Tons of room, and the thing that I love about this drawer system is that it blends in beautifully with the back of the 4Runner. It's an all black design versus some of the drawer systems have silver involved. I just loved the all black, which is why we went with this. Just looks super cool and super high quality and blends in really well with the back of the 4Runner. Looks like it's supposed to be there. Okay, so last up here in the back is, you can see it up here, of course, is the component of the audio system in this Toyota 4Runner. Now, you can't see all the speaker locations, but this is a complete Sony ES audio system here with a very powerful amplifier. And to complement that are these 2 10-inch subs, which is in a Q-bomb box, which we've mounted to the top of our drawer system. So it is super sturdy. It's not going anywhere. And this system thumps. It is super loud. The bass is out of control in a good way. So big shout out to Jacob from Sony for coming down and visiting us and getting this awesome Sony ES system installed in this 4Runner. We are offering this as an in-shop install at this point, so come down and see us. We can help you out with it. And that's gonna wrap up this walk around for today. Remember, there will be a future installment of this series once we got some other goodies put on the 4Runner. All of these products are gonna be available in the shop for purchase at www.trailgridpro.com. And as always, guys, have a blast out there.